Today we're talking about hearing your words, which is when the truth really comes out. Now, your words are habitual patterns that have been conditioned within self over the years. They are an extension of your thoughts and your emotions. Now, your words are also a clear indication of when you are slipping into a lower level of human consciousness and are incredibly influential in regards to relationships and communication. And I'm going to talk about that in a moment. Your words have the ability to also repeat the generational cycle by way of influence. Okay, so you may notice the way that you speak is influenced from your childhood and the way that maybe your parents spoke, or some influential factor in your life, some person that, you kind of talk like them. It's a repeated cycle. And if you are one who has children, you'll notice that kids mimic everything that their parents do, right? So those words can become a generational cycle. And they also dictate your belief system. But you have the ability to control it when you become aware of it, when you really come and take a step back as the observer. Now, I want to go back to the influential factor in relationships and communication, because words have a huge role to play in it. Words are filtered, understood differently for each person. So you may have noticed, you most likely have noticed, where you might have said something to somebody and your intention wasn't in the same place as they received it, right? They filtered what you said, the words that you said, differently than what you intended it to be. Now, this is commonly because both parties have healing that needs to be done, and people are at different levels of vibrational energy at different times. And so when you are in a conversation and it starts to get heated, you may trigger something within that person that needs healing. So they're going to filter what you said in a completely different way than you intended it, because you may be in a different level of vibration as well and have your own healing to do. So this is where words can have a huge battle effect within people in situations and circumstances. Okay, when we look at words on the lower end of vibrational energy, it comes out as complaining, criticism, judgment, blame, that's a huge one, condescending, hurtful, sarcastic, boasting, self-centered, and reflectional. Your words are a reflection of the emotions that you're feeling and the thought and story that is within your mind that's wrapped around that emotion, that is now translated by the words and the way that you communicate with people. And even the way that you communicate with your own self within your inner voice. Okay, so it's very important along this healing journey to not only take a step back and pay attention to our thoughts, our emotions, but also the words that we're using. Again, key indicator of what needs to be healed. Then working backwards, you have that thought, you have that word, rather, that, keeps coming out that is kind of on the negative. And then you associate it with whatever feeling and thought and try to put the pieces together. Okay, it's a clear indication. I'm going to leave you with a little story when I first started this process of really understanding my words. It can be very overwhelming. And please, as you begin to listen to yourself, do not beat yourself up in the process. Do not, retract into a lower level of human consciousness that now feels guilt or feels shame for the words that are coming out of your mouth. We want to step back as the observer and really listen to ourselves so we understand what needs healing. Okay, you're going in with a positive intention. When you're hearing yourself with a positive intention of gathering information, of exploring self, because you're not the only one. There's many people that don't have this awareness. They don't step back as the observer to hear themselves. So they're blinded to it. And that's where the defensiveness comes in. That's where the pride comes in, because they're not even aware of their own self and what they're saying and what they're doing. So be kind to yourself in the process as you step back and you really start to hear yourself. Because I know when I first started, I was in shock at the amount of things that I said I hated. I hated everything. I hate this, I hate that, I hate this, and criticizing everything and everyone. And when I realized how often I was doing it by really listening to myself, there was a part of me that felt a little bit of shame and felt a little bit of guilt. But do not allow that to overwhelm you and take over. Tell yourself, keep telling yourself, I'm the observer. I'm observing. Make your notes, go through your worksheet, be the observer, be kind to yourself in the process. Okay, so download, print, complete this worksheet, light your candles, burn your incense, set the mood, and I will see you tomorrow. Namaste.